First of all, thank you, Bushra, for taking us through the logistics. I want to emphasise the market stalls. We got loads of great feedback last year. They're really informative, and the sort of conversations and level of detail I think could be really helpful. So please take some time during the networking time and the lunchtime to go and investigate. It's great to see so many of you in the room, and it's great to see so many online as well. So your presence really underlines what a truly market-wide experience this is. So thinking about what we're implementing in this complex and far-reaching change, I took inspiration from my father, and he made a keynote speech to his industry's governing body way back when. First of all, it gives me a little warning. It basically says he wanted to do something different other than offering my views on matters which I see of vital importance, or one might say unkindly, to ride his own hobby horses in front of a captive audience. So thanks, Dad, noted. But secondly, and I think this is really pertinent, my dad said that there was one subject which I believe to be of concern to all of us as private citizens, and I'll paraphrase, as a programme and as an industry. He went on, that subject, for want of a better or more likeable word, is the environment. This was November 1972. That's over 50 years ago. The themes that he went on to talk about included the need to conserve resources, and education and information go hand in hand. These two phrases speak directly to the potential benefits of half-hourly settlement. We will, as an industry, be taking exciting propositions to market and have an opportunity to influence investment and decisions as we change the way we use energy in this groundbreaking change. That's conserving resources. So since our last open day, more and more signals have been received in the market around flexibility, and getting through go live, there's going to be an extraordinary amount of data coming our way, and that will just support the introduction of new flexibility products. So for context, and this is sort of the industry stats bit, but I think it's necessary. Before 2030, the industry expects a 5-fold increase in consumer-led flex from the current 2.5 gigawatts set out in the Clean Power Action Plan to between 10 and 12 gigawatts. That has to more than double again in the subsequent 5 years beyond that to meet net zero targets in 2035. And the context of the change in renewable energy is phenomenal. Again, in that time frame, we expect a more than doubling of offshore wind capacity to between 43 and 50 gigawatts, and a trebling of solar to between 45 and 47. So I believe we're playing our part in delivering half-hourly to meet the CEP30 targets. As NISO said, that to meet the target, several elements must deliver at the limit of what is feasible. There'll be probably times in the last year where we thought feasible sounds really difficult. But the coordination and cooperation that we've demonstrated so far is, I believe, key to ensuring that we do everything we can to make this happen. So it's no longer just feasible, it's no longer just possible, it's now actually probable. So to achieve the volumes that I've just stated requires that active participation in flex markets and with new tariffs developed by suppliers. I think I talked about this last year. I still am thrilled when I see signals on the telly and things like that about people shifting demand. I kind of go, we're playing our part in that. And it's great to see the suppliers sort of going out there and sort of spreading that, getting those warm-up signals. So please, keep going, because it thrills me when I see Ellie Simmons hanging out there washing or nailing balls and things like that. So all sorts of great stuff. So, but this is about the power of education, and that is about for consumers. They need to understand the benefits to them in terms of cost, benefits to them in terms of that holistic piece of shifting demand, but information as well through the power of data. And that power of information can also be greatly enhanced as if an industry were able to continue to drive through the smart rollout. Won't say any more about smart, but it would help, because that will avoid the notion of a two-speed market. And the power of information will also be demonstrated at the end of our migration, when we'll be processing billions of half-hourly readings every year. So landing delivery of half-hourly is also about ensuring confidence remains in settlement. And so our timely focus in being business ready and alert to the impacts and risks through early life support and beyond, and through that transition period is critical. And I want to give you my assurance that as my role within Alexon, we will be doing everything we can to make sure that it remains as smooth as possible, working with the settlement experts. So I'm immensely proud of what our programme is offering in terms of this opportunity to increase consumer participation. Yes, 50 years on, and education and information still go hand in hand. So turning to the programme, the focus of the Open Day, there is still, this is all about getting to go live, and you'll hear shortly from our sponsor, Ofgem. However, before then, I just want to share with you that there is interest and scrutiny in the programme, and that remains high. So in January, the Secretary of State, Ed Miliband, and the CEO from Ofgem, Jonathan Brearley, met with Alexon's CEO, as Alexon as IM, so that was Peter Stanley. And that was really just to seek reassurance that the plan that we'd put in place at the back end of last year was going to stick. And that was, there would be no more delays. There was sort of categorical, this is it, guys, time to face into it and make it happen. So that scrutiny reflects the eagerness to support the overall delivery of the clean power plans and the part we play. So I'm pleased to say that, yes, the plan is sticking. And you'll hear some more about the detail of the programme from Keith Clark in terms of where we are with delivery. And then testing, the design has progressed really well. We're planning for code change, migrations, qualification. You'll see a lot of the market stalls there as well. And during the day, you'll hear more about that journey to live operations from a participant's perspective, which I hope will bring all of this to life and be a good rallying call, or possibly even a wake-up call for some of you as well. And so I've got some thank yous. First of all, to all of you in industry, the voluntary participants in system integration tests who are now really driving progress to go live, the central parties who are so key to go live through early life support and beyond. Thank you also to all the participants not in SIP. We're looking forward to you completing your own journey to live operations. Thank you to the central programme team who deliver such a wide range of roles for coordinating industry, monitoring and assurance, programme management, and overall assurance of the programme and the participants. Personally, I received lots and lots of support from the team, particularly the programme director, Chris Harden, but also many others. Thank you, Smitha, Warren, Jason, Keith, and Chris W. Then the main impact that I see to where we are at the moment is through the skills of collaboration and expertise sharing and problem solving. And we've not stood still in ways of seeking to safeguard our delivery. And I think using those skills have been a real undercurrent of making it all stick. And it is keeping our delivery tight, and it's keeping it on track. And for balance, I thought I'd quote my mum at this point, because she loved a quote. And this one is from Herbert and Casson. I think my brother thought she'd made it up, but I dug it out and went, no, this is actually somebody else. But he cited it in the International Chemical Work in 1953, which is slightly bizarre reading for a housewife, but there you go. But it is also bizarre because it doesn't make sense from a physics perspective, but I do like it. And the quote is, there is more power in the open hand than in the clenched fist. Ofgem are laughing at that point. But I think that really, you're not enforcement, it's okay. And this reminds me of the supportive approach that has emerged across, all the testing cohorts. It has been that open hand, pulling people along, pulling people together to make things work, and across industry to support delivery. So thank you. I'd like to thank the IPA, that's the Independent Programme Assurer, and for their insight, support and third line of defence. I did write actually initially their third eye, because sometimes that sort of is what it feels like. But yeah, thank you. And finally, thank you to our sponsor Ofgem. Thanks to the irrepressible Jenny Booth and her market-wide team. Thank you to Melissa Giordano, our sponsor, for your insight, drive, pragmatism, openness, and rhubarb recommendation. So this is it. This is our last open day before go live. I hope you enjoy the day and find the information interesting and stimulating. Enjoy the networking opportunity, and I'll wrap up the day later on this afternoon. So I'd like to now hand over to Melissa. Thank you, everybody.